Good afternoon. I'm your host, Jimmy Kim, and you are listening to the greatest show on the planet, The Jimmy Kim Show. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing the president of the Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. It is actually one of the largest and fastest growing chambers in the state of Texas. So we're going to go ahead and start. Don, Thank you for coming into the studio and being here with me.
Well, Jimmy, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I'm excited about it, and I'm really excited to talk about what's going on in the chamber world, if you will.
Excellent. All right. So before we get into the chamber, Don,
yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and talk about yourself
Oh.
so that the audience can have some insight into who is Don McCoy.
Well,
I know a lot of people already know who you are, but
I tell you, it's really funny sometimes when you talk to people. They say, "Hey, let's enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me?" It's one of those funny things.
Oh yeah, that is true. Today we're turning the tables, Don.
Yeah, I hear you. But no, Jimmy, I started. I'm a graduate from Deer Park High School here in Houston, Texas, other side of the city, over there, southeast side, and then I graduated from Stephen F. Austin State University. And when I left there, I went on over to film school in Los Angeles, believe it or not, and started my career in the radio and television field, moving back to Dallas. So as I said earlier to Tarek, I said I'm really famous, just nobody knows it.
So I picked the right candidate to be here.
I guess
to have an interview with, because you're a professional.
Well, you just
trained.
I've been in some movies here and there, and I dipped my toe into the film and television world. I really love the production side of it, the directing side, and the creativity is so important, and that's what really gets my passion going. Then I moved back here to Houston, probably about give or take about 12 years ago. My family's here and everything, and moved out to the Fulshear area, and didn't really know quite what I was going to do, believe it or not. But I do believe God put you in the right place at the right time, wherever you need to be. And I happened to meet somebody in Fulshear, Miss Stalinsky. They were looking to form a chamber of commerce, and they said, "We're looking for somebody to head it up." And I said, "Well, I'll be happy to give it a shot if you don't mind." And now the rest is history, Jimmy.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, that's actually how we met, because I would go to some of your chamber events, and I always enjoyed attending your events, and I like the energy that you bring to that group and then that part of town.
Absolutely, it's. I tell you what, all through your life, and this is the only piece of advice I can give anybody that they could take today, is no matter what you do throughout your life, there were times when, as an actor, I was waiting tables, okay? That's an old joke. It's like, really, you're an actor? What restaurant do you work at? That's the old line. Yeah. But, some of those experiences, learning how to deal with people and what you do, those are, you'll find you'll use them somewhere down the road in your journey that God has put you on. And I feel that in this position as the chamber president at Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber, I love this job, and everything I've done in the past I use in this particular position. It's not a job. I get up every morning and I feel fantastic, and it's exciting to see what happens, and it's unbelievable. So I'm very lucky and very blessed.
Yes, I can totally see that, because you just exude that passion, the confidence, and the energy.
Well, appreciate that, Jimmy. So do you.
Every time you see you at an event, and like I said, I love it. People are actually really drawn to that.
Well, I think so. It's important. And in your business, too. You as a business owner need to have that as well.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, especially in today's cutthroat market, that could define success and failure. Just the amount of energy you bring to the table.
There's no doubt.
With whatever activity you're doing, whether you're a radio host, whether you're a chamber president, whether you're running for office.
Right.
Yeah, that's really important.
People gravitate to people who are excited about what they do. They see a passion. I've seen too many people sometimes, I don't mind taking notes and looking at your notes, but you got to really know your product. And your number one product is you, all right?
That is true.
Then the rest of it's easy. You could sell widgets or this or that, but you are the product. You're the face of your business. You're the guy, you're the woman, you're the one that needs to be out there. Say, man, let me tell you, it's okay. If you ever go see a movie, you see a really good movie.
Yes.
Don't you tell everybody about it? And you're man, that's a great movie I just saw. You got to go see it. That's the same thing about your business. Man, I have a great business. I have a great product, and it helps a lot of people. So you just really have that enthusiasm about it. That's what's exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like the power of what you're talking about is the power of personal branding.
Well,
which is really important.
That's right, because your brand, people know you. Oh, I know Jimmy. Oh, I know Don, or I know, and because you're out there, you're about, your personality walks into the room with you. I mean, have you ever met those people that just light up a room when they walk in? It's just, they have that aura about them. And those are the kinds of people I like to gravitate to, and I'd like to aspire to be like. And it works in all facets of life, all facets.
Right, absolutely. And I know you're very skilled at that.
I try.
At personal branding.
We try to do the best we can, but it's, sometimes I will say, Jimmy, in full transparency, there are some days that are tougher than others where you just got to suck it up. I mean, you got to get out there, and maybe you're at an event and you're not just really feeling it yourself, but through some training and back in my days in film acting and training, you got to get up for that role. And sometimes you have to, even though you know yourself the best, you got to play a role. And sometimes you just got to bring it out and gut it up and get out there and be your role. Then go home and go, I'm glad the day's over.
Oh, yeah. Even got to tough those days out, right?
Yes, sir.
Not every day is going to be the best day.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, even myself, I have an interesting take on my personal branding. And, we all have our own different characteristics and those things that make us unique. And I try to embrace that as well. And I know you do, too.
It's important. Absolutely.
Yeah, because everybody's different. Nobody's the same.
That's right. And everyone has something unique to bring to the table. So I'm, as a chamber pres, I meet so many different business owners that have so many different products, and it's so interesting to see, well, how do you start your business? And I do a chamber chat every Tuesday on our Facebook Live, and tomorrow I'm talking to a gentleman that has a cleaning business, a window cleaning type of business. It's I'm going to have an interesting talk with this guy. I want to find out how he got started, and I might find out a few tips how to clean windows. You never know, but everyone has a story. Don't ever forget that. Everyone has a story. It's really fun to listen and go. Do you remember, Jimmy? I don't know if you do, but I think it was ABC News or some time back. There was a reporter that would take a dart, and he would throw it over his shoulder at the map of the United States, and then he'd travel to that city, and then he would go look at phone books. Yeah, folks, phone books used to be those things, those had everybody's number in it.
I barely remember those, Don.
Okay,
remember,
right.
I'm a millennial.
I got you. And then he would sit there and he'd just kind of close his eyes and point to a name, and he would go to that person's house and say, hey, I'm a reporter with ABC News, and I'm here to do a story on you.
Oh, that's cool.
And the housewife got, on me? I'm just a housewife. What could be interesting about me, And turns out that the lady has a degree, and she volunteers at a hospital, and she does this, and she saved a life. It's a story. Everyone has a story. So keep in mind, when you meet people, they have a story.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I feel like everybody has a story, as well as I do believe that everybody is talented in something.
That's right.
Whether it's, like I said, being a leader of a business crew, whether you do media, whether you're a radio host, whether you're a politician, whether you're a dishwasher. And I feel like people need to tap into that talent and then bring that out to be massively successful.
I say to the kids whenever I speak to National Honor Society or someone like that, I say, hey, rock the worlds with the rocks you got.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
Sometimes somebody once said, hey, you got rocks in your head. You're brainless or something. I said, no, these are God-given rocks, and these rocks are special. Too many people concentrate on other people's rocks. Okay, I want to be like
You're
that.
right.
I want to be like that. And so what you're doing is you're discounting the talent that you have. If you spend as much time discovering your own natural talent as opposed to watching someone on TikTok and social media and being really good at what they do, well, the reason they're good at what they do is because they have discovered their own talent, their own niche. Find yours, and you're going to find the whole world's going to be your oyster if you do that.
Yes, that is. I couldn't have said it any better. Yeah, it's like, for example, I'm here because I love being in the media.
Okay,
that's why I'm a radio host.
So therefore, you're doing what you love to do, and nothing's better than getting up in the morning and doing what you love to do.
Oh yeah, I love coming to the studio, interviewing people, and it's so much fun. It doesn't even feel like I'm working.
You bet.
And obviously, you can tell already, right?
I can tell. Absolutely, we're having a blast.
You can tell I love it, yeah. And it has to be fun because, as Don was saying, if you're really working in a field area of your passion, it is fun. Like your profession as well. I know you like what you're doing because I can just see it on your face.
Thanks.
Even when you talk about it, Don,
That's
your face just lights up.
Sorry, folks, if you're watching this, the faces.
All right, Don, tell us more about the chamber. As I announced earlier to the audience, it is one of the largest and fastest growing chamber groups in the state of Texas. Is that correct?
Well, yes. We've only been in existence now just less than 8 years, and we've grown to well over 600 business members at this time. The average chamber runs anywhere between 200 and 300 members. But I think we're growing, and we're well on our way to 1,000 members. But when we started the chamber, it was something that I came to them and the people that were interviewing me, I said, let's do something different. Let's do something that is tangible. Back in the old days, chambers used to be what your grandfather was a part of. It was part of the community. It was part of something you were just part of. Regardless, everyone was a member of the Chamber of Commerce if you had a business. Now today, you've got to really offer something tangible to make it worth it. It's more than just a ribbon cutting and see you later next year for your renewal. You got to really offer something tangible to the businesses so that they get a value out of the Chamber Association. So what a chamber is, and most people know, it's not a government entity. It is a 501c6 nonprofit organization that is run by an association of members who pay dues to be part of it, just like maybe a country club or something like that. And we offer various benefits to our members to help them grow their business. And also, one thing a chamber does that a lot of chambers, they still do to this day, is we represent businesses at the table of government. A lot of times a business doesn't have the time or the money, they're so working on their business, to be in Austin for legislation, or to be in D.C. where some legislation might be coming in, or even be at the local county level or
city,
or the city for that. And so we have representatives at all those places.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so there is like a Texas Chamber of Commerce Executives. There is a Texas Association of Businesses, which is the state chamber. There's the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And we all keep eyes on legislations that might come down the pike that would affect our businesses. So we enter our opinion. We sign on to legislation that we approve or we like. Many times we'll find that something isn't going to be great for our, and we come together and we say, hey, imagine this, Jimmy, if I was to walk in, or just say Mr. So-and-so, Mr. Smith, was go to knock on a congressman's door, he probably is not going to get very far in D.C., right? He's going to have the gatekeeper, and he's going to have to just send an email or something like that. But when we go to Austin, or if I go to D.C., we can knock on the door because the chamber is representing 600 plus businesses, which translates to how many employees they have, plus their families. So how much influence do we have? Well, we have a constituency of about 10, 15, maybe 20,000 constituents. So when we walk into that elected official's door, we can command a little bit of attention, a little bit of listen to us, because we represent these voters right now too. So that's sort of the what I call the nuts and bolts of a chamber. But I like to be the fun chamber too. I mean, hashtag.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah, if you want to, hashtag the fun chamber. We love to have fun. We do a lot of events that bring people together. We've had our casino nights. We've had, in fact, this Thursday we're having a Top Golf tournament right over here off of I-10.
So I-10 in Barker Cypress?
Yeah,
that Top Golf.
You bet. And it's we're going to have people there together, and we have a sponsor, Mr. Tello, and his group are sponsoring, and we're going to get together and have fun and network, and it's only from noon to 3, so it's kind of like a long lunch this Thursday.
Very cool.
We have a bowling tournament. We do 4th of July events, and those are the fun things we do in the chamber. Plus, we meet every second Wednesday. Our membership meets every second Wednesday at Parkway Fellowship Church out in near Fulshear, there on 1093 and 1463. And we always have a good speaker. You've been to our meetings before.
I have.
This next month, September the 8th, Congressman Troy Nels will be our guest speaker, as a matter of fact.
Very nice.
So come by, have some free breakfast, free coffee. We don't nickel and dime you for anything. Just come on out and let's meet some people, and we'd love to meet you. But let me just say, one of the biggest things about a Chamber of Commerce that I think is very important, and I made cards and stuff one time to do this, and one is we are connectors. And what's important about that It is so funny that some of the phone calls, I need to write a book sometime about all the different questions I get asked at the chamber. A lady called me one time and said, "There's a duck on my roof. What do I do about it?" You're calling the Chamber of Commerce, okay?
It's like fire department.
Yeah, and the duck won't get off her roof. So I steered her in the right direction and everything, but that's okay. That's what we're there for. We're here for the community, but we are connectors. If you come to one of our meetings, if you come to our meetings, very likely you're going to be in a room with a congressman, with a mayor, with a constable, with a commissioner. Those people come to our meetings.
They do.
So you get a chance as a business person to be in the same room with those people and have an opportunity to perhaps form a relationship and get to talk to them. So we help you connect with influencers and leaders. That's one of the big things we do. Number 2, catalyst. We want to be the catalyst for business growth. And it's so important that we offer you tools to help you grow your business. We're one of the few chambers in this area that offers a marketing landing page, a texting keyword. In fact, if you're listening out there, you might want to text the word "The Chamber," which is all one word, "The Chamber," to 72727. And what will come back is everything about our chamber. Every business in our chamber has one of those keyword numbers. They really do. I like to tell the story of a gentleman that had a company called Mosquito Hunters. And it's very hard to type Mosquito Hunters. You know, first off, you got to learn to spell mosquito. Then is it hunter or hunters? So it's very confusing. So we came up with the word itch.
It's easier.
Yeah. Type the word itch and you find out about his company.
It's simple.
That's one of the things we offer. The marketing landing page, highly search engine optimized. We also offer a virtual trade show booth. The pandemic made us come up with ideas. Crisis always forces innovation, right?
Yes.
So rather, we can't go to trade shows, so why don't we have a trade show online? And now all of our members have the ability to have a trade show online. In addition, we have just launched our Grow and Protect app, which is a resource library of over 300 mini lessons and videos on how to be everything from a better speaker, how to really, put your LinkedIn and make it look really fantastic, how to, YouTube for beginners. I mean, video is the next evolution for everybody. Yes. You've got to start doing it. But it's all these lessons on how to make your business better. And it only takes 15 or 20 minutes to watch each one of these modules, and there's like 300 of them. And you can access those through our Chamber of Commerce. And it's for our members, and it's absolutely free. Well, it's not free exactly. It's $1. We have to pay Google, and we have to pay Apple.
No, that's not bad.
For the app, yeah. But I'll put this out to the members, to your listeners out there. I'm going to give you a treat today.
Listeners and viewers.
And viewers.
We also have HD video.
There you go. So here you go. If you go to www.growandprotectapp, A-P-P, growandprotectapp.com/Fulshear, Fulshear, you will then have access to our library for $1 for a lifetime. A lifetime. $1. You pay Google,
that's
you pay
so cool.
$1. So there's a gift for you from our chamber. And hey, go in there and find all these things and become better at what you do. That's what we're here for.
Yes, that's why you're there.
Yeah. And then third, it's the last C, is champions. We just really want to be champions of the community. And if we can help businesses grow, increase tax bases, help the community, give back. I love to MC at charity events and do all the things we do. Champion your community, because the community is what supports you and your business. So give back. Always find a way to give back. And I think there's a fourth C, capitalism. There is nothing wrong with making a dollar for a product or service that you have invented or that you give to the people. That's what makes the economy work, okay?
Agreed.
I want to get into all the socialisms and stuff like that, but capitalism, truly our American experiment for over 200 years, has been second to none in the world. And people want to come here for many reasons, but I think that's one of the big ones.
Yes, agreed. I'm a big fan of a lot of these topics that you talked about. The first and foremost being, I like how your chamber specifically, what I've seen over the past few years where I've attended events, is how you do bring out the political elected officials,
Yeah.
community leaders, and the business leaders. I always see a combination of those. And from other groups, I may not necessarily see that, but out at the Fulshear-Katy Chamber, I do, which I think is phenomenal.
I think
to
it's
be able to be that kind of connector.
Yeah, we do want to bring them all together. It's very important that you have access to these folks. They're
absolutely.
They're public officials.
They are.
And if you have a question, and you know what's great about them, they stick around and they
do.
They don't just take off like some people. After they'll stick around and listen to some questions and they'll get back to you. But I find all of our officials are from local to state and governmental, all the way up to the federal level. They come to our meetings.
They do, yeah.
We're doing
I know it's true, Don.
Yeah. We have a State of the Region event coming up in December, and Senator Colkhorst, she's going to be our sole speaker at Safari, Texas. Everybody knows where that is. But that'll be December the 3rd, I believe. It's a Friday. And it's a
Texas senator? Texas State Senator.
Texas State Senator Lois Colkhorst.
Yes.
And she's well known in the halls of Austin. But what's great is I love it when the elected officials reach out to our chamber and say, hey, can I come and speak? Can I come and be a
Very
part?
good.
Or can I talk to you? And to me, that's a real compliment to our chamber and what we're doing. So we're all across the board. Anything we can do to help your business grow, that's what it's all about, and making you successful. I like to say, like Billy the Kid, I make you famous.
Yeah, I knew that, Don. That's why I have you sitting in the seat right here, and that's why I'm interviewing you, Don.
Okay, good.
No, we're helping each other.
Absolutely.
It's about going back to another topic you talked about. The business groups in the chamber, they make money by providing value.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
To the clients. That's the most important thing. Where can they bring value to whoever they're serving?
That's really great because a lot of times it's messaging and branding, and a lot of companies have trouble doing that, and we help them with that. We give them the opportunity to get the word out. Again, with my chamber chat, our weekly email blast, our meetings. Let's grow your business, and let's find where you're missing pieces to grow your business. A lot of times, Jimmy, I make the best widget in the world, right? And you're really good at it, but you know what you aren't good at? You're not good as a CPA. You're not good as a marketing person. You're not good as a logistics person. You're trying to source resources, and but I make a good widget. Yeah, well, that's all fine and good, but it takes all those other elements to help you be successful.
You got to have a team.
You got to have the team. And what's great is the chamber has the team. Not just us here in the office at the chamber, but the other businesses that are in our chamber are so willing to help each other out. It's all about culture, the culture of success. Yes. I love it. Because if people look at each other and say, hey, how can I help you be better today? That's really important. To me, that is one of the best ways you can give back is, help somebody be better every single day. I love it. So
yes, especially if they are willing to learn and get better.
Yeah.
That's important too, what I've seen.
Sure. And attitude is another thing.
Yes, attitude.
I told you, I can't remember the gentleman's name. I've been sort of watching TikTok, I'll admit. I've been on.
I use TikTok.
I love it.
TikTok's getting big right now.
Yeah, TikTok can be, I could find myself 30 minutes later still swiping and saving every video. But I will say that I heard this guy on TikTok. He said, hey, he went up to this guy, he's talking to these businessmen and everything. He says, if I was going to give you, Jimmy, $1 million today, I'm going to give you $1 million. There's only one catch. You can't wake up tomorrow or ever again. What would you take?
Take life.
Exactly. So he said, let's flip that around. So what you've just told me is that tomorrow is worth $1 million to you, isn't it? So when you wake up in the morning, think of it, hey, this is worth $1 million to me. So take advantage of this day. You woke up, it's worth $1 million. I think that's one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, I love that. Because I'm a big advocate personally. Everybody knows this around me of seizing the moment, living in the moment while you're there, and especially seizing the day.
Absolutely.
Big fan of that.
Day and attitude, because your attitude begets another attitude, and nothing's more cool than to see someone they're really having a bad day, and your attitude can really be infectious and make them have a great day. That's all it is. It's, hey, what's up? What can I do? Man, you okay today? It's okay to ask that amongst anybody. And man, that's part of giving back to humanity is reaching out to people that What are you struggling with? Because I know I have a lot of resources. Whether I can help you or not, I know someone who probably can. I really do. And you do too, Jimmy. Everybody does. Everyone has somebody they can refer. You know, we worry about business being all about ROI. What is that? Return on investment. That's, oh God, what's my return on investment? Well, I argue with what Mr. Jack Warkenthien, he's a good friend of ours, he said, ROR is more important. I go, ROR, what's that? He goes, that's the return on relationships. So if you spend the time developing a relationship with everybody you meet, your ROI will come back to you tenfold, because they become a salesperson for you, they become an advocate for you, they become a person that likes you and will, in their circle of friends or business, are going to say, your name's going to come up when somebody mentions, say, I'm life insurance, okay? And I made a relationship with you, Jimmy, and we're good friends. And then Jimmy goes, you go and do your thing, and somebody says, man, I'm looking for a good life insurance guy. You're going to say, hey, call Don McCoy, he's a great friend of mine, da-da-da. You just did a sale for me that I didn't even have to be present for. So take advantage of relationships.
Yes, relationships are critical.
Absolutely, you bet.
Don, tell us about some of the media experiences that you've done, that you're currently working on, and that you've done in the past. Because I know you've done quite a bit of radio and TV and film. Is that correct?
That's right. Wow.
And media, print media as well.
Well, golly, that's...
You've done almost all of it.
Well, it's starting early on. I went to L.A. and I went to film school, and my first role was as an extra on a movie called Slapstick of Another Kind, and I was with Madeline Kahn and Jerry Lewis and Marty Feldman. I just played a small role, and then I was on the Devlin Connection, just an extra. But coming back to Texas and working on Dallas, I was a stand-in and stunt double for Patrick Duffy on the TV series Dallas. I worked every season on the TV series Dallas. I was had a small role in JFK, the movie, with Kevin Costner, and I'm the guy that arrests Oswald in the movie theater. I played Johnny Brewer, the shoe store salesman. And I was in North and South with a Houston native, Patrick Swayze. Just a lot of fun, and I really enjoy the film and TV. And then I kind of morphed into directing. And a funny story was my mother, who ran a lot of public relations here in the Houston area and did a thing for a cancer foundation called the Stalin Cancer Foundation. Anyway, I was in Dallas, and she was here. And she said, I need to get a PSA filmed, which is a public service announcement, with Suzanne Summers. And she was in Dallas, Suzanne Summers was. And so she calls me up, says, hey, do you think you can get a camera crew together to go over to this hotel and film Suzanne Summers doing a PSA? And this, I had never directed or anything or nothing, right? And I said, sure, I'll take on this challenge, no problem. And a lot of the TV film crews from all the news stations were already on the East Coast covering a hurricane. I didn't mean that, no pun intended, but they were covering a hurricane. So there was very few crews around. But I did have a friend that had a big old Betamax, you know, those big cameras. That was back in the day where they're huge.
They still use those, though.
I think they do. I think people look at it, the bigger it is, the better camera it is. But
right.
That's not true anymore. But we went to the hotel, and I had a friend of mine that had some light gear, and we set it up, and I set up the room and the hotel and everything, and here comes Suzanne Summers. Now, come on, some of y'all know who Suzanne Summers is. Remember Three's Company, the pretty blonde? Do you remember her at all?
A little back then.
Thigh
right?
Master. She was the big Thigh Master.
What decade was that? remember Don?
80s, give or take, right around
I don't know if I was born yet.
All right. Well, she's a beautiful lady. Look her up, Suzanne Summers, Somers, and she's one of those ladies that, you know, as a celebrity, you tend to go, "Ooh, she's so pretty,"
okay,
you know.
Yeah.
But I tried to be very professional. I acted like a director because I'd seen it, and I know I'm an actor. So we sat her down and we shot the whole PSA and everything, and I would turn the camera and do it from this angle and adjust the light, and told her to emphasize this word, and I'm telling her what this great marketable actress who everyone knows, I'm telling her what to do, right? And at the end, I said, thank you, Miss Summers. That was great. We look forward to see you at the event. And she goes, Don, how long have you're a great director. And I said, oh, thank you very much. She goes, how long have you been directing? I said, all day.
First time.
First time, all day. And that sort of lit a fire in me, and I just really went into directing TV commercials and car commercials and started producing for the Speed Channel, the Learning Channel, and all that. And then I got into little voiceover, and then I performed live on stage at medieval times because I still love performing. I think it's so much fun. And then getting into media, where I find we're a really great niche. Remember when I said earlier, you find your talent or what you think is your best talent? I became the voice of the Fulshear Chargers football out at the high school. And I've really enjoyed being the announcer at the games out there at Traylor Stadium. Those are a lot of fun to do. And they call me the voice of the Chargers, which is, humbling to say the least. But what's really great about getting out is volunteering my time to be an MC at charity events. And I really enjoy it. And then I find myself being an auctioneer or doing this. But if you can get out and do that, it brands you. Oh, yeah. And people go, oh, who's the MC today? Well, the MC today is Don from the Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. What name is got there? The Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. That's how to grow your business. This is Jimmy Kim from the Jimmy Kim Show.
I've actually emceed as well.
Okay.
Events.
And those are great for your brand. Reach out, do that. If you can't do that, then donate something that's going to be auctioned off so your name gets said a lot by guys like you and me, right?
Yes.
But I love the MC. I love to do that. I love to do the announcing. I still like performing. And now we're going to go back into video on social media and start using that format to talk to people in the video world. So when you said, what have I done in all the media, that's kind of a high view part of it. I've met a lot of celebrities in my life. I've traveled the world. It's been fantastic. My dad worked in offshore oil and construction. I lived in Venezuela for 9 years. I speak Spanish pretty fluently.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Sí, cómo no, bastante.
Oh, very cool.
Bienvenidos.
I speak Spanish más o menos, hablo más o menos.
Okay, let's just go to the audience out there tonight, today. And then I lived in England. I went to high school in England and got to travel Europe, lived in Iran on an island in the Persian Gulf for about a year. Living in England was fantastic. I saw, you know who Led Zeppelin is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so...
That is a bit, was that 80s? Is that 80s rock?
70s.
Oh, 70s.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't born at the time, but
well, I
know they're well respected in that area.
I saw Led Zeppelin live in concert at Earl's Court in London, England, and Grand Funk Railroad. And I saw Evel Knievel jump those buses.
Oh, that's cool.
I was there live.
Oh, no way.
So it's been a great life. And I tell you what, the life that I live now is still great. If somebody says, hey, you have a chance to go back and do it all over again, what would you change? Not a thing. Not a thing. Even the mistakes I've made and the sins I've done or whatever, I'm forgiven. I know I wouldn't change a thing. And all those experiences in my life have made me who I am today. So never discount your past. Don't go back there unless you plan on going there, But it's good to look forward to your life and draw on your history. That's a lot of things we got to do in our world today. The old adage, if you erase your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
So let it serve as a reminder, the good and the bad, and take it with you as you move forward. That's what our country should do. Yeah, we're not, we've had a history that's not so great from time to time, but we learn from it. And that's what we need to do today is take and learn from your history and move forward.
Yes, with all that media training and experience that you have, Don, I'll be asking you for some more tips after the show.
Okay.
Because I know you're giving me some before.
Yeah, talk with your eyebrows. Talk with your eyebrows.
Now that I know exactly what you've done.
I've enjoyed it.
All right, Don, let's talk about some other activities that you're currently involved in. Because I know your full commitment right now is the chamber.
That's right.
But then you're also involved with many other groups. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am a member of the Katy Rotary Club, which I highly encourage, of Service Above Self. That's a great organization. I am part of the Lions Club at Fulshear-Simonton. I work with still my fraternity out of college, Sigma Tau Gamma. It's fantastic.
Oh, you were a frat guy?
I am a frat guy. I'm actually a president of a frat. So
oh, my goodness. Like the current president of an alumni group?
No, I'm just on the alumni board, but I was president.
You were at the time?
I was a chapter president.
Okay.
Right. And that was Sigma Tau Gamma out of Stephen F. Austin, and it was a great group of guys. And a lot of those guys today I still stay in touch with, and they're phenomenally successful in their own rights. And, those are relationships you never get rid of. And just being part of groups bring a sense of fraternity or sorority. And those are people you can really rely on and trust, and they have same missions as you. You know, like the Rotary Club, we all have that same mission to service above self, and you get so much personal reward out of something like that. Plus, we have our groups in our chamber. We have committees that you can be part of to be part of a group. We have a business development committee. We have a health and wellness committee. We have a Wrangler committee, which is your ambassadors for our chamber. We can't do it all ourselves.
Yes.
And these are opportunities for you to serve outside of your business, but you represent your business when you go out and serve.
Absolutely.
And that's just one of the side benefits. But do it when you're pure of heart. But groups get involved. I mean, that's all I say. It can be exhausting, trust me, I know.
Not easy.
It's not
Certainly
easy,
not easy.
But the rewards are fantastic, and nothing feels better. It's almost, I think it was Vince Lombardi said, one of the best feelings in the world is laying broken, tired, sweaty, I'm just paraphrasing, cut and bleeding on the field of victory that you gave it your all. And maybe my last days on my headstone, it'll say, yeah, I gave it everything I could, and I loved
At least you tried, right?
I loved every minute of it, So do that.
Well, very cool. Yeah, I feel like it is important to get plugged into some kind of group. So if you're in college, whether it's a fraternity or some kind of professional group,
sure,
or out here, whether it's a chamber or something where you have a common goal. In an area, once again, of your passion or your interest. So if you force yourself to go do something or join something you don't necessarily enjoy, or that you don't have any passion for, it's just not going to be the same experience.
Be careful, though, because doers do. I'm involved in my church very big at Second Baptist over at 1463. I'm a deacon, and I also a Sunday school church leader. And a lot of times people that are doers are asked to do more. And
that is true.
And do again.
It stacks up.
Yeah. And as my team at the office, Amy and Rachel, God bless them, they put up with me, but they say, Don, you just got to learn to say no sometimes.
That is true, too.
And there's nothing wrong with saying no, but it's hard for me. If I'm going to say I have one thing that I don't do well, and that's saying no. I said yes to the Jimmy Kim show, though. So,
well, thank you so much, Don. Yeah. Shout out to, you mentioned Amy.
Yeah.
Amy, I know Amy Norvell very well. She's really sweet.
Yeah, Amy.
And she does your administrative work.
Well, she's our vice president of operations. And,
okay. My mistake. Yeah,
that's okay.
I didn't know that she had that. Yeah.
She's very important. And then Rachel Durham is our VP of membership. And it's the three of us. I can't believe we've grown this chamber like we have with the three of us. But I will say we haven't done it alone. We do have those committees that help us out. And the support of the community, which is fantastic.
Yes, and I also shout out to Second Baptist Church. I'm a member as well at a different campus. Though.
Which campus?
I'm at Woodway.
Woodway, okay.
Yeah, you're in Katy. You go 1463.
You go to the mothership. Right,
yes,
gotcha.
I'm at the mothership.
I love it.
Very good. We have that common bond.
Absolutely,
Don. That's phenomenal. The next, Don, let's discuss the importance of. This is a threefold question, which I think are. Me personally, being in business for a while as well, the most important aspects of a business. So in terms of the importance of marketing, the importance of networking, and then the importance of sales.
Okay. Let's go backwards on that, if you don't mind. Sales. Sales is, believe it or not, as a good friend of mine, Jack Warkenting, I mentioned him again, sales is the oldest profession.
It is, and one of the most important.
And I love his book because he does have a book, I think, Sales, the Oldest Profession, and this cover of his book is actually Eve selling the apple to Adam. That's the first sales that was ever done, if you think about it.
And that's why we're here, right?
But, yeah. But nevertheless, sales is so important to be critical. Everything depends on sales.
Yes.
I've had this discussion with my brother, who's captain of the police department in Fulshear, and he's always been in civic with HPD, and civic employees, civil employees. A lot of times they get their paycheck, and teachers get their paychecks and things like that, but they don't realize that somebody had to sell something down the road in order for that paycheck to be realized today. Well, get a steady job and get a steady check. Well, no check is ever guaranteed unless somebody sells something. So when businesses sell products and services, obviously they make a profit, they pay their employees, they pay themselves, they pay taxes. Those taxes pay civil employees. So when you think about it, everything comes down to somebody selling something. So don't discount the importance of you selling something. Sales is not a bad word. It's just a solution. That's what you need to do is think of your sales. I am a solutions provider. Find something somebody needs, find a solution, say, I've got it, I can help you. Okay? That's just one important thing. Then we can help get the word out how great your product is. Advertising, that takes us back. So how do I sell better? Well, you got to let the world know what you're selling. Marketing, yeah. And unfortunately, and not to say anything against magazines and radio shows and things like that, but a lot of times people say, oh, if I just put an ad in this local magazine or if I just do an ad on a radio, people will beat a path to my door. And they spend enough money that it's out there for about a month. Well, you're not going to make an impact on anybody for a month worth of advertising.
It has to be consistent.
You've got to be consistent, have your message out there. Now, what's really great is you have the opportunity with social media to really be your own marketer in a lot of ways, and very inexpensively. That's the next evolution here.
Yes.
But go out there, and I will say, and I'm going to do this because I'm a chamber guy, Chambers of Commerce are your least expensive form of marketing. Where else can you go? Our basic membership, I'll put it out there, is $300 a year. That's it. $300 a year, and I have over 43 benefits that will actually help your business grow. But where else can you go and find a networking opportunity virtually every week, every day of the week for somehow, some way? Where else can you go and get a marketing landing page and get some advertising and get pushed out to our over 8,000 to 10,000 followers? That's what we do for you. And try to grow your business organically by word of mouth. That's really important. Marketing is you out there talking about your product. Find every medium you can. Call Jimmy, get on his show, join the chamber, get on my chamber chat, and let's talk about your window cleaning, which I'm doing tomorrow at 10 o'clock. There's all these things to market your business. Here's another freebie, blitzer.com, BLITZR.com. This is, the chamber, we are part of it, but we don't form that. But what it is, Blitzer is a tremendous way to go. You ever heard of speed dating?
Yes.
Okay. This is speed dating for businesses. You get to meet one-to-one with businesses, one-to-one, in a format online.
Very cool.
And it so go find a group. Find a group that is, and you can jump into their Blitzer and meet other people worldwide if your product is worldwide. So that's marketing. So we had sales and marketing.
Next, networking, which I love networking. All my friends know that.
Okay, what is the operative word in networking? Working, okay?
It is work.
It is work.
Tremendous amount of work.
So think about networking. I'll tell you, the good friend, Tim, another friend of mine, Tim, what's his last name? Such a good friend, I forgot his last name. But one thing about networking, when you get into a group of people and you're networking and you're going around and you're talking and you're having, don't spend your time at the buffet. Kind of what you should do is scope out the group and see who's there. And some people you might recognize. Find the people you don't recognize, okay? But there's two types. The person that goes in and has a stack of business cards about that high, and they're sitting there just, hey, how you doing? Here's my card. Hey, how you doing? Here's my card. And they're passing out their cards everywhere. That's what we call the gunslinger, just throwing them out. Kind of put those away. Carry with you 2 cards, maybe 3, and focus in on 2 or 3 people that you want to go and have a conversation with, a relationship with. Speak with them for 10 minutes before you even pull your card out of your pocket. Have that one-to-one conversation. And then, towards the end, say, hey, can I exchange cards with you? And sure enough, that card is more valuable to them because when they get home or they get back to the office, they're going to pull out those cards they got and they're going to spread them on their desk, Jimmy, and they're going to go, I don't know who that is. I know that. I kind of know who that. I don't know. Oh, this guy I talked to for 10 minutes. That's awesome. On the back of my card, I got a place to write, and it says, "Put your notes here."
That always helps too.
Yeah. But networking is really not. Or some of them are organized. We do them at our chamber. All of our monthly meetings have networking opportunities at the beginning. But let me tell you what networking is too. you're always networking, no matter where you go, at the
Agreed.
grocery
Anywhere.
store, wherever you are, how you doing, you're building those relationships. So networking is important. It's a way to grow your relationships. And what do relationships bring you is they bring you ROI, and it helps your business.
Everything, yeah.
So-
I mean, the reason you're sitting here, Don, is because we network together.
That's right. and listen, there are professional networking groups. I'm a member of BNI. I'm the BNI.
That's a great group. Yeah.
And I find it very useful and successful and helpful. And nothing I like more than referring people to the BNI group. And then I'm also there's NIA. There's all kinds of different little
NIA is a
groups.
great group as well.
Yeah. And these are all fantastic, but also there's the ones that are just socials, kind of like at the chamber when we have a rope cutting. Did I tell you we do rope cuttings? We don't
Yes.
do ribbon cuttings.
Love the rope cuttings.
All right. So that's our country roots, with the horse and everything. So we cut a rope, and then we put the rope on the plaque, and we say, you're part of what ties our community together. So that's how we throw that in there. But when we do rope cuttings, and sometimes we do them in the evening, and we have a social attached with it, that's really a lot of fun.
Yes.
To network. The fun things we do, the Top Golf we're doing this coming Thursday, that's going to be fun, and it's going to be networking because you get to walk up and down the bays. See, I love golf tournaments that are for charity, and all those are great, but when you're out there on the course, who are you golfing with? 3 other people that you already know.
That is true. Yeah.
So I
versus
think-
people you don't know.
Yeah. So in Top Golf, we have a chance to really walk up and down the whatever they call it, the bays, and get to know everybody a little bit better and say have fun.
Yes, Don, we're going to shift gears
Okay, please.
and let's discuss briefly your thoughts on the current state of politics at a county level, city and county level, which is local,
Uh-huh.
then at the state level, and then the federal.
Wow. Okay. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce keeps a good pulse on everything on the federal level for us. Now, just because the U.S. Chamber of Commerce says this or agrees with this or that doesn't necessarily mean your local chamber has to go along with it. We don't have to follow lockstep with the national U.S. Chamber, although we are a member of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. But I will say the state of politics is this is probably one of the most interesting times in politics I've ever seen in my lifetime. My first introduction to politics early on was when Nixon was running for president. And I remember, the campaign and those sort of things. But it just seems that, locally our politics are good, I think. There are some, especially in Precinct 3, where we're located for the most part.
Fort Bend County.
Fort Bend County. And don't let me forget about the Get Hired program at Fort Bend County. So let's make sure we bring that up. But we have a great commissioner. We have the city managers and the city mayors of, you got Katy, you got Fulshear, you got Simonton, you got Brookshire, you got all the Sealy. All these mayors are very in tune with what's going on because the growth out there is phenomenal in Fulshear-Katy. It is exploding, all right? And it's hard to manage all these. And we just opened up a new road, thanks to Commissioner Myers and his team, opened up the Texas Heritage Parkway. Well, what does that do? And he's in there building a library, a new county library out there.
Oh, I love libraries.
Along that road. And that's going to bring all kinds of development and economic development. It's going to raise the tax base. It's going to attract people out there. So I think local politics are doing pretty good. On the city level, countywide, I know there's a little bit of controversy. The pandemic has got people split down the middle. I've never seen our country so more divided than it ever has been.
Same here.
And it's, personalities. You don't have to attack each other personally. You can agree to disagree and be civil about it and talk about it. And let's find. Look, I lean more conservative. There's no secret about that. But there are people that are friends of mine that lean on the progressive side, and some of the ideas are good. It's just not absolute no. I mean, come on. When you used to talk to your mother and she said, no, you can't do that, you kind of knew that you could wiggle your way in there and come up with another proposal where you both agree that you could stay out an extra 30 minutes, right?
Right.
And then and you still love each other. Because the one thing we got to remember, we are all, we're all Texans. If you're in Texas or whether you're just moving here,
Where's your cowboy hat, Don?
well, I can't wear it with these headphones. But Texas is a unique culture in itself, and it really has. I love Texas, and I'm a native Texan, but that's neither here nor there. When people come here, it's a way of life. It's culture. Texas means friendly, friendship. That's what the word means. Comes from Tejas, a Caddo word, Indian word, meaning friendship.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so that's why our state motto is the friendly state. Yeah, we're all friendly. Hey, how you doing? I mean, that's handshake is your bond, that kind of thing we're talking about. If some of that culture can spill out to these other states, I think that would be fantastic. But let's go on a macro look. The United States, we're all Americans, and we're all from different cultures, different areas of the world. People want to come here for a reason. So don't get caught up in all these politics, racism, and all these things. Yeah, we have problems, but you know what? Do you remember 9/11 at all when that happened?
Yes, I do. Okay. Yes. I was in junior high, but I do vividly remember that moment.
But afterwards, I've never seen our country come together so firmly together.
I remember.
My grandparents, when Pearl Harbor happened, that was one of those things that gelled everybody. Unfortunately, I wish we could still come together without a disaster happening to bring us all, because
I do too.
You're a brother, you're a friend of mine, and that's the way we should look at everybody, and everyone has something to offer. No matter their race, their creed, anything, we all have something valuable, and that's what makes the United States a wonderful place. It's a place where you can innovate. You can let's get regulations out of the way. Let's be innovative. Let's invent things. Most of the world's top inventions were invented here when people came here from other countries and had the freedom to be able to invent and innovate and come up with new ideas and ways to do things.
Yes.
Look at all the greatest inventors in the world that came to America from other places in the world, because where they came from, they were oppressed and weren't able to do that. So talent is huge here in the States, and we need to recognize that there's not just one person or not one race or anything that controls this country. We are a true melting pot, and that's one thing I liked about my fraternity. Let's go back to a small level. I joined my fraternity not because we were all the same, or because we were all fraternities are kind of known like these are the rich boys, these are the mama's boys.
You were part of the party boys, right?
No. But what we were part of is we were part of a true melting pot of guys that all had the same idea to treat each other with benefit, excellence, learning, leadership, integrity, and value. And we call ourselves noble men. Yeah, we had fun, but those things still live on within me, and if we can just get that out in our society, I think our world would be a better place.
So I agree. Does that mean you still go back to the schools to go haze the new guys?
Well, we can't haze anymore. Of course,
I'm just pulling your leg, Don.
I did hear that one of them said, if I have to mow the grass, that's hazing. I said, no, if you have to mow the grass at the frat house, that's integrity. Come on now.
It's taking care of the property.
Yeah.
Well, you got to put in your time somehow, right, Don?
Yeah, exactly. You have to. But thanks for asking. I think not all is lost, and let's pray for our troops over there in Afghanistan, and the people that have helped us there. Let's pray for those folks coming across the border, because they're coming across for a reason. They want to come. They want a better life. I don't see anyone trying to get out of this country.
That is true. Yeah, and also for Louisiana as well.
Yeah,
they're going through some rough times.
Yeah,
right?
But we're not so bad. This country's not so bad when everybody still wants to come here. You don't hear
I totally agree with that.
Do you hear anybody say, "Hey, man, I want to try to make my way over to China or into Russia or something like that, or to Venezuela"?
Not towards communism.
I lived in Venezuela 9 years. Wonderful country. When I lived there, everyone's trying to get out of there.
Yeah,
right
because
now.
it changed. Because the government.
Yeah. So let's not do that here in the States, huh?
All right, Don. We're going to wrap up the show with two last questions. So you wanted to talk really quickly, if you can share about the Get Hired, and then after that, Don, 3 tips to be successful in life.
Ooh, 3 tips. Okay.
Okay. So Get Hired, and then 3 tips. Real quick.
I just want to let you know, Fort Bend County is coming up with a program called Get Hired incentive program, and it's going to launch right after Labor Day. And be on the lookout for it on the website at the Fort Bend County TX. And .com, I believe it is, but our chamber is going to be pushing it out there. And what this is you hire somebody brand new for your business. If they stay 90 days and they make under, say, $25,000 is what their salary is, they can get a $500 bonus paid for by the county. okay, not you, the business owner. So that's an incentive. It's almost like a sign-on bonus. There's a $750 bonus, and there's a $1,000 bonus as well. So go check it out. It's going to be real exciting. We want people to get back to work because there are service industry people that are dying for people to come back to work.
Oh, I bet.
Okay. So
Three tips to be successful in life.
Boy, you hit me that one out of the left field. 3 tips to be successful in life.
Most important tips.
Most important. Have faith. Believe in your God. And that's for me. And that's if you just do that, I think a lot of problems would be solved. And number 2, love your family and your friends like you never have before, because you never know. Especially we've learned this last pandemic 2 years or so that they can be gone in a minute, and how important they are. And number 3, have fun, smile, have a blast. That to me is. You weren't put here just to sit around and do nothing. Let's go out and you can have fun and really make a difference in somebody's life, and it'll be so rewarding. That's 3.5 tips.
Very nice. No, I like the fun part, because that's actually what I told you right before we started the interview, Don. I was like, Don, we're just going to have a good time. We're going to have fun. Well, and it worked out.
It does. And this has been a blast. And go have, those are the things. Laugh, have fun with your friends, your mom, your dad, your coworkers. We laugh every day at the office. We really do.
Good.
And it's just so much fun. And sometimes we even call each other on the weekend and say, "Have you heard this dad joke?" It's a lot of fun.
Well, positivity is contagious. All right. Well, that wraps up the show for today. Don McCoy from the Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for coming here for me to interview you. And to the audience out there, thank you so much for listening and viewing the show today. So next week is actually Labor Day holiday, so we won't have a show. But then the following week we will. So make sure you tune in, and we'll see you then. Have a great day. Bye.